In my lifetime, I get to see this level of entitlement amongst modern women like what I'm seeing today. And I know you read the title and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about. Well, I'll catch you up to speed for those who haven't watched the video. There was a video posted a couple of days ago titled "Woman Rejects Nuclear Physicist on Live," so I'm not gonna lie, it piqued my interest. So like any one of you gents, I decided to click on the video to see why she rejected a scientist of all people. Because if this guy was working at McDonald's, I could understand, but a nuclear physicist, I don't even know what a nuclear physicist is, but the name alone lets me know they must make a lot of money. And the last time I remembered, women always complain that men are broke dusties and ninjas ain't ish, so for you to get what you claim you want and still pass up on that deal was mind-boggling. So I watched the video and oh my god, I was in shock and disbelief with what my eyes had just witnessed, so I decided I had to make a video on it. So here we are today, and I'm gonna break down the lessons in this video so you can see that it's over for most of you relationship guys. Just throw in the towel and go do something else with your life. Relationships, in my opinion, are officially dead. I know you guys are wondering what even happened in the video, and I'm gonna tell you bit by bit, so you understand the direction of the modern woman today. The show's premise is that it's a speed dating show, and there is the guest and the host. Both are females. Then the men would call in and talk to the woman who was a guest, and she will do the choosing of who she wanted. Doesn't it already sound like a dating app? Am I the only one who picked up on that instantly? On dating apps, all a woman has to do is set up an account, exist, and wait for men to throw themselves at them. The woman gets free attention and validation based on how she looks, and she has the power to reject you if, for whatever reason, she finds you unattractive. Likewise, the show uses a word to reject the men they don't like, which is pineapple. So instead of swiping left or right on a dating app to reject the person, all the woman has to say is pineapple and you're booted off the show, plain and simple. Before diving into what directly happened, I want you to know I'm not disrespecting or calling out this young lady. We don't do that over here. I'm just using the situation as a learning tool for men who value this message, so don't harass this young lady. Back to the show, the guy calls in. The woman greets him, and at first glance, he looks a bit nervous, and his opening line was he was reading a self-development book called The Art of Strategy, and he's leaving soon to go to the military. Now, I have to be fair here and not take sides until I need to. Men, most women on the face of planet Earth, especially sisters, don't care about men who read books. I have to be honest. I agree that for self-development and feeding the mind positivity, you should definitely read books. I highly recommend reading books and then putting what you read into practice. If you're the type of guy who reads and never applies the knowledge, you're wasting your time. There is a saying that knowledge is power, and to an extent, it can be power, and the key word there is can. Knowledge alone, without applying that knowledge to yield a result, is what I would call potential power. The information is useless without the action behind it, so keep that in mind. But when it comes to women, most of them won't care if you read, especially women of the darker skin tone, and that will never change. If it was a woman from the Asian side of the world or the suburban white girls, I could see bringing out the fact that you read books as a positive if you're worth something. Next, he was a part of the military, which is a huge problem for men wanting to date seriously. Do you know how many men in the past, present, and the soon-to-be future who have been taken advantage of by women because they were in the army? Men, if you are in the military still, don't even think about dating or even worse, marrying a modern woman. I guarantee that you will be taken advantage of. I have heard countless stories on different channels on YouTube where evil women have finessed guys in the military. Channels like The Free Agent Lifestyle and Strong Successful Male will give you some real insights into what military guys have to go through if you can find their back catalog. Again, I can't stress this any further. If you're currently in the military, do not date or get married. I'm sure there are incentives to get married, but the downside is that the women will be incentivized to divorce your goofy, but if you get caught lacking. So for Christ's sake, don't get married while you're in the military. Continuing into the video, the guy proceeds to tell the host and the guest that he's a nuclear physicist, and they're blown away. And anyone would be blown away. I didn't even know what a nuclear physicist was, and to be honest, I still don't know. Don't judge me, I'll Google it later. My guess is it has to do with building rockets or something like that. You know what? Just so I don't sound like an idiot, let me search it up real quick. Guys, I searched up what a nuclear physicist is, and I still don't know what the hell they do. Give me the L. Anyways, the only thing that matters is that they make good money, and according to Google, they make 6 figures, so that's a win in my book. So you must be thinking this guy is in the military, so he's clearly disciplined. His profession reeks of high status, and he makes the money to back it up, so there's no way he won't get the girl. But guys, this is 2022 where up is down and left is right. Nothing makes sense anymore. She tells him to tell her a little bit about himself, and this is where the video went left. The nuclear physicist guy tells her all of his life story leading up to his accomplishments. Now guys, when you're talking to women speed dating or just a regular conversation, you don't want to tell them too much because that kills the mysterious vibe about you. You want to hold back as much information as possible and let her search and find out who you are. Now that we have that covered, let's be real for a sec. It's her right to reject whichever guy she wants to. I have already stated you won't get all the women you want, and that's okay. There are billions of them in the world. But what message does that send the average guy wanting to be in a relationship? If you work on yourself like you've been told to do, and it's still not enough because, according to her, he lacked personality, then the guys who are beneath economically, what chance do you have out here? During the video, when the guy was talking, she was uninterested throughout the entire conversation. As soon as the guy stopped talking, she immediately wished him well and gave him the pineapple. She couldn't wait to reject him just because he didn't have the personality of Chad or Tyrone. That was the truth. He would have stood a chance if he had a sweet mouthpiece with some swagger and style. He would have stood a chance if he didn't speak English properly. But she chose to reject him based on how he made her feel and not on the long-term outlook that choosing a guy like this was probably a good idea for her long-term. She chose feelings over stability, and that is the underlying truth. This guy was a melanated brother, so it's not the same interaction across the board with the different races. But the message was clear. Women would rather choose the men who are bad for them when they are in their prime and fall back on the stable guy in their decline, and that's the truth. No amount of Crimson Capsule is going to change that. You can literally go outside and watch this play out like wildlife. The sad part is the women want to select you only after their options start to dry up or they get tired of chasing the bad boys. Then it's your job to be the cleanup man. And I think that's a disservice to men because not all of us were born to be the alpha, and men who were raised by single moms and weak fathers stood no chance. We didn't have control over that, but we must still get punished by ran-through women. Isn't that sad? Think about it, from teenage years into your early 30s, you catch L after L and rarely, if ever, get a little piece of sugary nectar. Then the first woman who shows you little attention comes with more red flags than the Chinese Communist parade. 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies and lives in Struggleville. And you're just happy to finally get one woman to be with you after living alone for so long. She floods you with bedroom fun, and you now want nothing but the best for this woman and her kids, and she still backstabs you and makes your life a living hell. Isn't that sad? Men really can't win in relationships, and I have come to terms with that, and I will never tell any man to go into a relationship under any circumstance. I have seen many men, some good and some bad, get used and abused by women to the point of dire poverty with no hopes of a recovery. And most of these men weren't cheating. Some were, but you make your bed, and you lie in it. But most of these guys had nothing but good intentions, and all it took was a woman to wreck their lives. So I will be telling men to avoid committing to women until the breath leaves my body. So this is the takeaway from this video. The more options a woman has, the less likely she will choose one man to settle down with and not monkey branch. If you don't have the sweet mouthpiece and swagger appearance, most women will lean more to rejecting you depending on your race. Women have a short shelf life, so if she wasted her looks and beauty in her prime, then don't accept her in her decline. If you have to show more interest, then she doesn't like you, and you should go to the girl who likes you more than how you like her. And if you don't want to deal with this BS, go monk mode or live the free agent lifestyle. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He's doing God's work. Tap that thumbs up button if you agree with this message, and thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate the support. Our goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers by July, so keep those subs coming. Comment down below if you guys are planning on dating modern women. I won't judge you if you are planning to. We don't harass or bully people over here, so feel free to leave your comment but censor out the words that YouTube doesn't like. Remember guys, the most beautiful woman in the world is your freedom.